Hello, Grand Rising, everyone. I am back for another video. I am late this morning, guys. I am late. Excuse me, y'all know I get up early in the morning, and I've been sitting here contemplating what should I talk about this morning. Excuse me. Welcome back to my channel. This is Goddess of Light Magee. I hope you guys are having a wonderful morning so far. It is Monday. It's time to get back to the hustle and bustle of, for the week, working or whatever, going to school, whatever um, that is that you have to do. It is time to get into it, okay? All right, y'all, give me some likes as you come into the room. Give me some likes. Subscribe to my channel if you have not yet subscribed. Hit that notification bell twice so you get all the notifications whenever I go live or whatever I do over here on my channel. You won't miss a thing. Okay. All right, you guys. Today we are going to be talking about different kinds of salt. Yes, salt. SALT. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know I'm on my spiritual journey, and I had my spiritual awakening in June of 2018. And I come in often and I share with you guys a little bit about my journey and some of the my spiritual tools that I use in my everyday spiritual life. So I thought I'd just come in and share a little bit about salts. Okay. All right. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Okay, for salts. Okay. In some cities, my city, we don't have any, but in some cities there are botanicals, there are specialty shops, and these botanicals or specialty shops or even online. You might be browsing the internet on Amazon, or you might be looking at crystal healing shops or whatever. You may notice uh, different types of salt. Okay, different colors, different textures. Um, it's just so many types of salts. So we're going to maybe I'll discuss maybe three or four with you guys today. Okay, salt is great. It's fantastic for using in your food, but there's that but. Uh, Salt is used for even better practice sometimes, and that is its use for, let me see, I guess you could say it's spiritual use. Okay, salt can be used as a spiritual tool in your everyday life along your spiritual journey for many different things. So this morning we're going to talk about a few different types of salt and how to use them, okay? All right. The first salt that we all know about, but you may have not known, there's other uses for this salt. The salt that I'm speaking of is your regular table salt. The regular salt that you use every day to season your food that's in your cabinet or on your table, or you might have some salt packages in your purse or whatever. Just regular table salt. Regular table salt, sometimes it comes with iodine in it, which is really good for your iron and to protect you from like thyroid problems. The iodine is, I didn't say good for iron, excuse me. It's good for protection against thyroid problems or whatever. And also, salt has many different minerals in it, which is also good for the body. Okay, it can come, like fine salt or coarse or a rock or pebbles or whatever. Some people buy the rock salt and they have a grinder and they just grind their salt or whatever. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about the word salt. The word salt, uh, this is just a fun fact for you guys, for you all that may have not have known this. The word salad, SALAD, comes from the word salt. Okay. Also, the word salary. Salary comes from the word salt. So, during the times where salt was being used for trade, they would use the salt as trade, and then people would get their salary by selling by the selling of various amounts of salt. They would get their salary that way. And when the Romans came and invaded various areas and they started really discovering salt, they started adding salt to their vegetables and food. And so these terms, so in these times now, have been formed. A salad and salary, these terms have been formed and started. So yeah, a lot of people, I didn't even know that. So a little research told me that the word salad and salary comes from the word salt. Okay, moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on. We are going to talk about, let's see, the first one I would like to discuss is sea salt. Let's talk about sea salt. Okay, sea salt. Sea salt has been around forever. It's just as long as the oceans have been here, sea salt has been here. But I would say in the last few years, I have noticed that different restaurants and different, people, whatever, have started to use sea salt in their food or whatever. The first person that I noticed, the first business that I noticed using sea salt on the menu was Wendy's. Wendy's came out with the sea salt fries, and I was like, sea salt fries. And you know what? They really taste good. They really taste good. I started to love them, and I would just go through Wendy's through the parking lot, just drive through and order me some sea salt fries. Yeah, but people have started using it every day and cooking, and it's become a trend in the last X amount of years. So, sea salt, it comes fine like a powder, um, almost like powdery. It comes in crystals, and it is often mined close to the seashore. Because it kind of calcifies on the rocks, stuff like that. So it's like right there by the seashore, and it calcifies on rocks. It's easy to get. So the other thing about sea salt is it has a great holistic use. It has minerals that are good for the body, and you can use sea salt externally as well as internally because it's good for electrolytes as well. Okay, but what we're going to talk about is the spiritual use. The spiritual use for sea salt. I didn't talk about the spiritual use for regular table salt. I just gave the definition and I moved on. I'm sorry about that. Let me go back to regular table salt. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. Regular table salt can also be used in your spiritual bath. You can add like a half a cup of regular table salt to your spiritual bath and just soak it in, let it get all in your skin and your pores. And it's good for clearing away negative energy, banishing away things that may be of a problem to you. And it also is good for bringing in good luck because you have used it to banish away all negativity in your life, and then it opens up the door for positive affirmations to come through. Okay, that is just regular table salt. Okay. And also, a lot of people, and myself sometimes, you can use the regular table salt to like throw it in the like in the four corners of your home. Just take your little handful and kind of like throw a little bit at a time in the different corners of your home to protect against any negative energy, or people might come in with negative vibes on their person. And that salt is like a barrier, it's like a fence, it's like a protection, so that negative energy they bring in will not affect your environment. It's like it wards off negative energy, negative vibes, and all of that. And it also, once it wards off that negative energy from your environment, it can bring in positive, open the door for positive energy, positive affirmations, or whatever, good luck, and all that good stuff. I know y'all have heard about people throwing salt over your shoulder. You can throw it over your shoulder. You can throw it out in front of your house to protect your home, or at the back door. You can protect your home that way. Or you can go around your house. You can start at the front of your house, right there in the middle, at the front. Walk to your right, walk all the way around your house, sprinkling the salt for a safe barrier to ward off negative energy or enemies or whatever. And then you make your way all the way back around to the point where you started and stop right there and just drop a little bit more salt. And honey, you're covered, you covered, you covered. Okay, now let's move to the sea salt. Okay, I touched a little bit about the sea salt and where you can find it near the seashores or whatever, and that it calcifies on the rocks, so it's easy to gather. And also, sea salt is used for spiritual baths. It's good for uncrossing, uncrossing things. It's good for luck. It's good for opening up things. It's really good to use sea salt. I prefer sea salt. I usually get me a good little nice size box of sea salt, and I use it in my spiritual bath, and I also use it as a protection barrier. I also use it on my altar. You can use the sea salt on your altar, and it's good. You can add it on your altar for your gods and goddesses. Yimaya, Yimaye, the ocean goddess, the mother of the world, the Orisha, who is just the ocean, all encompassing. This is inside of Yimaye, the sea salt. The sea salt is inside of her, so you can use the sea salt. There is another let's see, I had to write this stuff down, yeah, so I wouldn't forget it. Um, it's good for sea salt. Is really good, like I said, for spiritual baths. You can use it to take a bath. And you can also, like I said, put it on your altar. And you can put it on your altar as an offering, like you're giving an offering to your orishas or your gods or goddesses. Okay. Now, the last salt, let's see, I want to make sure I talked about the sea salt. Okay. Yeah, I had to write this stuff down so I wouldn't forget it. Um, yeah, the sea salt can be used for, doing your spiritual baths. And like it has many minerals in it as well. And it's good for warding off things, rejuvenating your energy field, um, dispelling physical or spiritual problems. The list just goes on and on and on. Salt is used for so many things. But there is another salt that I love and that I have in my house is the Himalayan salt. I have two Himalayan salt lamps, crystal salt lamps. I have one in my kitchen and one in my bedroom. The Himalayan salt is good. It, you know, the colors are so beautiful. They're like a rose quartz, and the salt lamps I'm talking about, like a rose quartz. But for as the Himalayan salt, you know, it has a beautiful color. It comes in like fine, coarse, large pieces. They're used for like pyramids, lamps. You can find them in spas or whatever. You can have them in your home to clean the air. That's what I use mine for, to clean the air and negativity and, you know, neutralizing negative energy or ions, you know, from your room. You can use the Himalayan lamps to neutralize ions in the room. You know, it's also used for a for having, let's see, it is also known for having a very strong similarities to rose quartz, as I just talked about. So if you can't find like rose crystal or whatever, rose quartz or whatever, you can just take a piece of Himalayan salt and you can just use that for whatever you're doing, whatever you're trying to accomplish. If you don't have a rose quartz near you, get you some Himalayan salt and you can just use that. Now, Himalayan salt is good for drawing love to you, okay, because it has the sweetness to it versus, you know, the other salts. It has a sweet aroma and, you know, or flavor. So it's good also for taking action for self love, just as the rose quartz. The rose quartz is good for self love and self care. So it's just great to have it in your space, you know. It helps brings up your vibration and all of that good stuff. So that's the Himalayan salt. You might say the pink salt or whatever. And the last salt that we are going to talk about is, I don't know if some of you guys might know a little bit about this particular salt. You may have seen it. I am just going to give a disclaimer here. Um, you don't want to use this salt for taking a spiritual bath. You don't want to use this salt on your head or anything like that. This last salt that I'm speaking about is black salt. Okay, black salt is you know, a lot of people, you might be looking on the internet. Let me just say this. You might be searching the internet, or you may have been in a botanical shop or specialty shop, and you might have seen this salt and you might have purchased it, and you might not have known all the uses for it, but you know, it's so shiny and crystally looking, and you just say, well, maybe let me try some of this, get some of this black salt as well. Disclaimer. Okay. This salt is used for different types of hexing. hmm So, if you would like for me to do a video on how to make the hexen black salt, you can leave me a comment in the comment section below, and I'll do a video on how to make the hexen black salt. Okay. But like I said, disclaimer: you do not want to use this salt for your spiritual baths. You don't want to use it on your head or anything like that. Now, the black salt is usually found on beaches, black sand and beaches. Okay. So you can get the black salts in those areas. Of course, in places, you know, like where they sell at the specialty shops or on Amazon or, you know, um, botanicals or whatever. And you can also find volcanic black salt. Okay. But the one I'm talking about today is the one that people use, that people make for hexing. Okay, so the black salt is usually for hexing. It usually starts out as sea salt, regular sea salt, and then things are added to it. You know, whether it be ash or charcoal, different things like that is usually is added to it, and it comes in like fine crystals. like little fine grains. But again, disclaimer, do not bathe in it. I would not bathe in it if I were you. If you've done this, if you have bathed in it and it works for you, then, fine. However, I would not prescribe that for anyone. I would not tell anyone to put this black salt on their body. But, if you tried it and it works for you, fine. But definitely don't put it on your head, okay? All right, okay. I think that is it. For the black salt, the black salt is just used for hexing, warding off a place, putting up a fiery wall, things like that. So, yeah. So that is the end of my video today, talking about the different salts: your table salt, your sea salt, your Himalayan salt, and the black salt. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you are interested in purchasing a salt, you can check out your nearest botanical, your nearest grocer. They have your sea salt and your regular table salt. You might want to check online. Amazon has it as well. And yeah, so that is going to do it for this morning's video. And I will be back later on today to talk to you all about probably gonna finish up our book. We're gonna finish up our book, The Game of Life and How to Play It. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but there's a few more chapters, and I'll probably go ahead and finish that up because we only have, what, 2 more days in September, and that was my book choice for September. So about 2 more days, so I'll go ahead and try to finish it up today. Okay? All right, you guys, go out and make it a great day. I send you lots of peace, love, and light, good, positive energy. I send you prosperity, good health. All right? And I will talk to you guys later. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Namaste.